Good morning, hope you're well. So today I wanted to make a quick video on people pleasing. So it's something that's been coming up for me a lot recently, and to be honest, a lifelong theme. But yeah, in particular, it's been coming up a lot recently, and just something I've really been sitting with and looking to understand, and just really observing what I see in treatment within myself. And then yesterday, I saw something on social media from a Harvard professor, no less, and he said that we have an epidemic in our time because we are, I can't remember quite the word he used. It wasn't an army, but that's the word that I want to use. We are a group of people who are, I'm going to say crippled, because people pleasing really does seem to cripple the life force within us. That yeah, there's an epidemic of people pleasing, and that is what's making us so sick. And I have to agree, we are seeing an epidemic of autoimmune diseases, mental health like depression, and yeah, two reasons from my point of view that is the case is because when we people please, and we're caught in that, what it does is it robs us of our life force energy, and what it does is it causes like a fracture in our soul, or to our soul, and we become very, very disconnected from who we are, what we stand for, what we believe in, what brings us joy, what makes us feel alive. And you know, because of that unalignment, is that the right word? Because we're not in alignment or coherence with that, that's obviously when we start experiencing physical symptoms, because we're constantly betraying the body's wisdom, the body's signals, the body's wishes, and yeah, moving in almost the opposite direction to that. So there's an awful lot that I could say on people pleasing, and specifically the fawn response, and far too much to put into one video. But what's the day today? I think it's like the 11th of November, maybe the 12th of November 2023, if you're watching this in future times. And we have just had the Scorpio new moon, and it is all about where do we feel potent, and where do we feel alive, and thus shining a light on where we don't feel alive. And the big question, and what I really want to talk to you today, is the word balance. So, because it's not, you know, completely helpful to dive in and go really deep on the fawn response and where we're people pleasing, I just want to offer you something that's really easy to bring your awareness to, especially as you're working with the energies of this week or in future time if this is coming up for you. And that is, do I want to dive into this straight away? No, what I want to say is we all have things in life that we have to do. I have to go on school runs, I have to spend time in the supermarket, you know, all these different things. But, well, and what I notice for myself is that when I spend too much time doing those things, I get so grizzly. I start getting really frustrated. In fact, I start getting really resentful to those particular people who are asking something of me. And you know, at times from personal experience, that's a really difficult emotion to sit with when it's your child and they depend on you, and you know, they're just expressing their needs, and it's just something obviously that they can't do on their own, and they need you. So what I've learned is that I have to make sure that with all those things that I have to do, they are in balance with the things that actually refuel me. So that is, anything from what I enjoy to, stillness and rest and being creative and, that kind of thing. I know what I can move towards that's going to help that bring into balance. But oftentimes when we're at the start of this, because we're so disconnected from ourselves and almost don't know who we are, because we've given so much of ourselves to pleasing other people and doing things this way and doing it that way, and a job and, being a wife and being a mother and all of those things. It can be quite an overwhelming place to start to, because you might just not know, because it's such an alien thing to do. So, and this is where it's really easy just to bring your awareness, just to be curious. So, being aware when you go into something, it's like, oh, well, do I really want to do this? How does that feel in my body? Does my body want to go there? How do I feel around this person? Do they feel like a safe, happy person for me to be around and share my energy? And as so often with these things, we actually get more useful information from spending time with the things that aren't good before we can move towards the things that are good for us. So number one is just bringing your awareness to those things, and just notice them. And something that really eases the part of my mind that wants to jump in and attach a story or maybe judge or start shaming or anything like that is I just stop and I just say to myself, isn't that interesting? Oh, look, I've noticed that. Isn't that interesting? Something that I am really keen and I spend so much time talking about is that there is no good or bad in terms of information. It just gets to be useful. It just gets to be helpful in determining your choice and which direction you want to move next. So be aware, start cultivating your awareness around those things that are perhaps a bit tricky. And this is where you've really got to open yourself up to exploration, experimenting, be curious, especially if you don't know right now what fills you up. Maybe all the things that you've said no to, like an invitation to go out and see your friends, because you get home, you're really tired, and all you want to do is just like crawl into bed, have a bath, and get over the day. Maybe your kind of like disruption to that leads to openness is saying yes and being open to that. So yeah, trying new things, just be open, just be curious. It's not looking for the thing or the ultimate truth or the, I don't know, just say for example in healing and stuff like that, people get very fixated on finding the yoga practice that's going to solve all things, or even the practitioner that's going to do it. It changes all the time because you are not fixed and you grow. So the things that bring you joy and pleasure and fill you up now might not cut the mustard next year. So the focus is on creating a mindset and an energetic opening. Is that what I want to say? yeah, an energetic opening that actually allows you to be open to, that makes it easier to try things that aren't perhaps known, that allows you to be more fluid and spontaneous and just more childlike, I guess, in terms of your approach to play and joy. Because that, you know, that's one thing that my children have taught me a lot about, is how to live life through play. And they are absolute masters of it. You know, and they don't seem to like hold any kind of like tension around, oh, well, I found this thing and this is it for life now. You know, if you've got kids, you know, they might be obsessed, like Jasper's obsessed with dinosaurs at the moment, and so it's like, dinosaurs. But you know, I know in probably 8 months, dinosaurs probably won't be so much of a thing, because, you know, he will have grown. So that's a really important skill, I guess, to carry with you, is, you know, remaining open and being flexible in what brings you joy, and you know, just what you're open to. So I think that's all I want to say. No, one last thing. And again, this is just something I have noticed and I want to share. Actually, something that a client said to me yesterday in her treatment was that she said, oh, you know, I was just really aware that I'd just been around too many people and I just wanted to come home, and it was just so nice to be on my own again. And I was like, that's really interesting. Because, you know, let's just scoot around that a little bit and have a little look at that. Because well, one, are those people your people? Because I know when I'm with my people, I never want it to end. Never. And so is there an element of people pleasing that's going on with, you know, this group of people that you've just spent time with? Because I really think that in part of our need to retreat and be a hermit and all the rest of it is because we've literally got too tired. We've exhausted ourselves from people pleasing and spending too much time in the wrong place. You know, so to deepen, you know, depending on where you are in this, my final thing to kind of put to you is just really ask yourself why. Why am I doing this? Why have I said yes to this? Because to know why, I think, creates space and also means that you maintain some kind of power and autonomy and authenticity in your choice, in what you're saying, you know, in the direction and the energy that you're moving with. And you know, in terms of like self-reflection and growth and development, it tells you a lot. It tells you a lot. And I just think, like, knowledge is power. So why not know that? Why not know that about yourself? Why not know that that's the reason that's motivating certain behaviors, rather than just being like a bystander or passive to it? Because, you know, coupled with this like autoimmune that I spoke to right at the very beginning, the nervous system states that I see that's intertwined with that is helplessness. And if you think about a person that's helplessness, they are disempowered. They feel like they have no choice. They have no options. They have no solutions available to them or anything. And, you know, asking yourself why is just so valuable, because I think that decision and that choice is better to be something that you're consenting to rather than not. So yeah, that's everything I have to say on people pleasing today. I hope it's helpful, and yeah. Oh, one last thing. So I know I always do this, don't I? We have a journal prompt that is available called 1% Gains, and depending on your awareness and what you get from, you know, doing things that perhaps don't feel good, but also knowing that you have to do them, 1% Gains is really useful in terms of reframing, where you can just pull back even 10%, even 15%, maybe even 1% back to, like, I don't really want to do this, so I'm not going to give it all of my energy, or I'm not going to give this person all of me. And also just with, you know, putting you in a new direction. This is not about like filling your day and filling your week with, you know, one thing after another that like feels really, really good. Something that's really, really easy is just choosing one small thing. And the whole point of this like 1% Gains journal is just that, you know, those small 1% actually amount to, you know, a really big change when it's compounded over time in your life. So if you want the journal, because I don't think it's available on the website at the moment, if you do want it, send me a message either via email or DM, and I will send it over to you. Right, I promise that's everything now. So yeah, until next time, bye.